Fishing is a wonderful pastime, but can also be a quite lucrative industry, providing a way of life for those seeking employment in this sector.
Leave school approximately in standard 5 and came into the port here and just did fishing. The old man was a fisherman here. Just going around and catching the fishes, selling.
Ramdat, the Claxton Bay fisherman, along with 34 million people worldwide depend on this sector to sustain their livelihood. It provides job security and often offers those with little to no educational opportunities a chance to learn a new skill. The United Nations Food and Agriculture Organization estimates that there are over 4 million fishing vessels around the world, with a staggering 86% of them operating in Asian waters. China reportedly had the highest marine and inland capture fisheries production in 2000, with more than 17 million tons. The next largest producer was Peru, followed by Japan and the United States. This sector demands a lot from its employees, and the rewards go hand in hand with much peril. Often these men and women who struggle to make ends meet and to provide us with sumptuous fish annually are at the mercy of pirates, who often either cut their nets, rob them of their engines at sea, or take away their main source of income, their boats.
I just outside there and for the last past short meeting, let's say approximately about 3 months now, I noticed I said that small boats and once I just passing in and going close to me, passing and cutting my nets. I call and I shouting out and no one saying nothing, no expense covering for nets or whatsoever outside here. Time before it was a profitable things, but right now it's kind of tough. Through the little bandit sea and the whatsoever on the outside, the pirate sea. It's kind of tough, so it's kind of fright to go out on the outside there now.
Despite the challenges, owning a boat is a dream of many who enter this industry with little to no cash. Often while they gather their resources, they are forced to work on someone else's boat. It's quite a costly sacrifice.
I lose about 6 or 7 engine plus about 5 or 6 nets, and they are very costly. Our engine is between 18 to 20,000. Right now, the small size that is mostly work because we just have to take it out every day. That's why I don't really go with the big ones. And a net is about $12,000 to $16,000. My type of equipment, because I have to build the net to suit the type of fish to track them down with it.
This business is not for the faint of heart, but there can be some rewards for those who persevere.
I do own a palace, but I own a small home, which is comfortable because when I do grow up, my home was much more smaller. But the point is that I'm trying to make to you that we wear old clothes, but we are happy. And that is the most important thing.
Well, it profited me. How you go about it? I do very good because everything I have, send my children to school, educate them, build house from fishing.
The problems experienced by the Claxton Bay fishermen has grabbed headlines for many years, with many losing comrades, fathers, relatives, and even their children to nefarious activities at sea. These Claxton Bay fishermen tell us about one such incident.
The piracy is dangerous. That's how we done right now. It will make 7 months that 14th of August, our guys, pirate kill them out in the sea. Today exact. The fellows who die, yeah, they was our family, well, grow up close. All of we down here is a kind of fishing family, you know. Fishing family, build a sport. Well, one was Apu, and one was Kalitron, but we know Bobo and Fires.
They used to work with me. The other one who survived, he's a cousin of mine also. Well swim and he was outside there.
Not a day goes by that these Claxton Bay fishermen don't remember their fallen comrades. The president of the local fishing association says it's the families who are left without a sole breadwinner.
It's not that they die in heart attack or some natural cause. It's just a stupid action that really take place there. They could have taken the boat and engine and drop them on the shore and go away with the boat and the engine and the net.
A team from the University of the West Indies and key stakeholders have come up with a plan to offer fishermen protection at sea. This may look like a simple cell phone, but it could prove one day to be the lifeline for fishermen in times of distress. The smartphone, which has scores of applications, is part of a project known as mFisheries, and one of the aims is to stop criminal elements in their tracks. UU officials told villagers and fishermen all about this initiative at the Claxton Bay Fishing Center. The team that helped to develop this concept also conducted research in the fishing sector to ascertain the needs of fisherfolk and to get a broader sense of their mobile phone usage to gauge the feasibility of a project of this nature. During the developmental phase of this project, fishermen played an integral role in helping to formulate the various applications. The phone is also equipped with a camera so that fishermen can take shots of any illegal activities they may see in and around their fishing community. Once this initiative is fully implemented, fishermen facing difficulties at sea will be able to use their phones to get even greater support from the Coast Guards and other national security agencies who are fully prepared to apprehend those up to no good. Here's a demonstration that shows how effective those fast boats really are in the pursuit of rogue elements. The Trinidad and Tobago Coast Guard have stepped up their patrols. They have more vessels and frequent boat patrols and have made a commitment to throw their full support behind this initiative. The GPS tracking in this phone is not just a crime-fighting tool. It also offers fishermen a chance to map out various fishing locations, including those zones where fish are in abundance. This information is stored in the phone and can easily be sent to another fisherman or used to get back to the prime fishing area later on in the year. Phones have already been distributed to various fishing communities throughout the country. However, before all of the applications can be fully implemented, there will be rigorous training sessions so that fishermen can fully utilize all the components of this device. The podcasts also offer fishermen first aid tips, engine repair guidelines, detailed information on preparation to go to sea, sea survival strategies, emergency maintenance, and fishing methods. As an added bonus, the phone also helps fishermen to harness and increase their base of knowledge. Virtual marketplaces are supposed to create a domestic demand for fish and enhance competitiveness. If stakeholders have their way, an environment will eventually be created where fishermen don't have to walk around with large wads of cash. Through mFisheries, they would be able to make purchases via the phone.
Well, this cell phone it have a GPS tracking that you could throw a fish pot out in the sea. You could even measure the distance that where you from the land. You could even tell somebody that what is the location that you are if you in difficulty.
The phone can also help fishermen determine if there are adverse weather conditions, including giving them access to a tidal report.
The phone will be handy outside in case of emergency in the same bad weather. You could use it. Get in touch with anybody in land. You could get in touch with the coast.
Fishermen in Claxton Bay really appreciate this application. It gives them comfort to know that this sort of vital information is at their fingertips. In the past, they were often forced to rely on other methods to find out about rough seas.
So we just have ideas in we head. We know. We just what the weather, we got what the weather pattern from the sky. If I'm home, I listen to the report. If I out in the sea, I call my family and tell them, if I feel like bad, all the monitor, you give me a little buzz. Because sometimes it could hit you, weather could hit you, and you wouldn't know. You could be taking a little rest in your boat in the night and it could hit your wap and you wouldn't know. You'll be like unguarded moment in. I think the cell phone is very good. It is an upgraded phone and it's very, very good towards the fishermen. Yeah, I suggest other fishermen get involved in it.
They should take the message and go out with it, learn and get the experience from it. Because for my part, it's a very helpful thing to myself. So I feel for other fishermen it should be helpful.
After listening to all that was said during this session, these men were impressed. They felt if their comrades who lost their lives at sea 7 months ago had these phones, the outcome would be very different.
I guess I'm recording something, or they would have find the boat itself, or where the body that flew to somewhere closer that could have find it.
I would say if they was in the water, they could have said, well, look, I drifting down to, it's 3 miles off of Labrador Jetty, and probably could have helped if it was on them. But again, too, on that vessel there, we had life jackets, we had boards, we had bins, and the fisherman was begging to just throw a life jacket or thing. But I believe that these people are just, I would say, criminal to the highest.
As these ambitious fishermen are brought up to speed in this highly digital era, Their association made a plea to the fishermen in various communities to unite.
Now, I could tell you that our weakness on the fishermen is that fishermen don't like to help themselves. 90% of the fishermen in all the ports. And that is the failure, the biggest failure that they have. And that is something that we have to wake up to. Because when they're working on the outside in the ocean, everybody live like family and is one. Because if a boat break down, they would bring them ashore, they would have no problem. So why we could unite on the outside and when we in the inside, we can't unite. That is the failure of the fishing industry today.
The president of the Claxton Bay Association, along with UE representatives, are also urging all citizens, even those not in the fishing industry, to be a part of this mFisheries project. This project has already begun to transform the lives of these fishermen. Soon new media and other technological innovations will be presented to them to ensure that they make their way to becoming globally competitive players in the international market. For these Claxton Bay fishermen, this phone may be the difference between life and death. It is a form of protection because when these men leave their families at home, they don't know if they will return. It's a risk they all seem prepared to take each day. But thankfully, now there is a lifeline where they can get some much needed help if they are in distress.